Okay, welcome back to the show, folks. You are listening to the American Adversaries Drive Time Prime Time show on AM 660 The Answer. And we do wish that you will spend some time this Memorial Day weekend as you're barbecuing and everything to think about the men and women who have died and shed their blood so that we can enjoy the weekend. 748-255 is the number. We're talking, Aubrey has had a situation where he's been dealing with a veteran over the last week or so who's been getting the shaft, so to speak, and then Ken, Dr. Vehec, who works a lot with veterans, says this is not uncommon. The reason I say I think it's part of that the root of the problem is the politicians, is that. For instance, who was it that said that our military was going into Iraq and raiding these people in the middle of the night and terrorizing them and everything? Who was it? Well, close. It was John Kerry.
John Kerry, yeah.
All right. Right. And who likened Iraq to Vietnam, meaning in a despairing way? The word Vietnam is a bad word.
Yeah.
That was old Ted Kennedy. And, of course, Harry Reid said we lost the war, and Barack Obama...
Now, wait, what's the Vietnam, a war that Democrats got us into?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no.
Pretty much.
They did. But didn't Harry mean we'd lost the Iraq war?
Harry Reid said we lost the Iraq war.
Well, I guess he was prophetic, because the way...
Now, everybody running around saying it was a mistake doing Iraq. Even all these doggone Republicans.
Because they want to get elected,
well,
unless they're darling hard.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. They'd have a better chance of getting elected if they turned around and said, no, it wasn't a mistake going to Iraq, because what we knew then is not what we know now, and it turned out to be a pretty good situation until Barack Obama came into town. All right?
No argument from me there.
All right, so you have all these veterans who come back home, and this is what they see on TV. And then you got all these parents out there in society. We get them a call show here, and they repeat all this nonsense, which means they actually believe all this nonsense, which alienates our veterans even more. So they look to other things for acceptance. Ken, am I off base?
No, you're directly right on it. It's funny because I was in a conference today at the university. We had to watch some snippets of intros into certain courses.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. The one that I watched, about one of the professors up there spouting history that wasn't history. But it was part of his intro. I'm sitting there going, I'm disagreeing with everything he's saying because he was missing the points completely.
Yeah.
And it's like... but the students are going to take that and say, oh, that's the way it was.
Right.
That's the bad thing.
I mean, Paul Revere wasn't the first president of the United States?
No. He didn't work in clock. Okay.
If you never hear the truth, you won't know how to distinguish that from a lie.
But it's coming from a professor.
Yeah, when he says it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I say the politicians are creating this environment, alienating our veterans, making it okay to mistreat them because they are the authoritative voice in all this, don't you see? But they're the ones with the credibility, even the ones who are so totally wrong.
But you've got to remember where it stems from, all right? Because so many of them during the Vietnam War, they escaped the draft. How did they do it? They became teachers in college. They became professors. And so they started spouting and teaching their liberal doctrine, the anti-war movement.
Yeah.
And so it is now a generation since then, and those the students of those professors are now the professors and politicians that we have today. And it's because of that liberal crap is being taught.
And it betrays their lie. Their lie is, for instance, when we went into Iraq and they were saying all this nonsense. We're not against the military. Against, what George Bush is doing with the military. We're against the missions that they've been, having to take up. But we're not against the military. That is a lie.
Of course
they are absolutely against the military, and the true tale of the tale is what happens to these guys and gals when they come home.
They get the shaft
from
the government, from the VA, from everybody.
Yeah,
and I'm
Most
sick of it.
definitely. It's the short end of the stick. And what bothers me the most is that it's one of the only things that's identified by our Constitution that the government is supposed to do.
Right. Maintain a standing
Yep.
military,
Yeah.
right.
Now, let me ask you this, Dr. Cade.
Yep.
Are you for the possible privatizing of the VA?
Oh, God, yeah.
Several people have talked about that.
Oh, yes.
Give it competition. Have some scrutiny of it.
Yeah. Right now, it's a monolith,
Mm-hmm.
that just continues to ramble on and roll over people. There are so many people that do not get the right treatment, that they get the improper treatment. I myself have just experienced the last 5 months. Well, you remember how sick I've been. Yeah. It's because I had 3 doctors at the VA who had all prescribed me a statin drug independent of each other without talking to each other, which darn near killed me.
So you could have been doctor shopping.
Yeah.
You could have gotten all sorts of drugs going to each one. They wouldn't have known.
And nor do they check.
Yeah.
And there's supposed to be a check and balance system inside the computer system and with the pharmacist.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. And for 6 months, I was on 3 drugs that had the potential to kill me. If I hadn't been as diligent and as knowledgeable as I am, I would have just thought I was getting worse and taking more pills. But fortunately, I questioned them and said, why am I doing this? And we did other tests and said, I don't need these things. Let's get rid of them.
All right. Okay, we're going to have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the psychological effect of resolve, something that is a foreign word to our president.
I thought there was a cleaning material.
Yeah, it's just your carpet.
Pretty much.
It's a carpet cleaner.
You might ask Barack Obama, and I'm sure that's what he might say it is.
He needs to clean up his act.
That's right. All right, stick with us, folks. We'll be right back.